Welcome to 48ers, where we talk to filmmakers about their experiences creating short films in just 48 hours. From brainstorming the story, casting, production, and post, we get a deep look behind the scenes of teams competing in the 48-hour film project. My name is Doug Kriz. I've done several 48-hour film projects over the last few years, and I just wanted to learn to do it better, so I launched this podcast as an excuse just to reach out and learn from other teams. This is the first of a three-part interview with Mostafa Taleb and Rafaz Iqbal of Cinema King Productions. In this episode, we talk about the first few 48-hour film projects they did and the challenges and benefits of putting a team together with the right chemistry. What's your 9 to 5, and when did you do your first 48-hour film project? Just like in a year and what happened?
Yes. Full time, I do video production actually for the marketing arm of a insurance brokerage company, and been with them now for 4 years, which is really great. And my first 48 that I've participated in was in the fall of 2020.
That's a crazy year to do a 48.
Yeah, it was virtual in that sense, in terms of like kickoff and such, but then our guys, we were very cautious, towards the tail end of the pandemic, right? Or kind of in the middle of it. I don't know what you want to classify the timeline there. But then, we were just like, let's get together. I was invited by a friend of mine who kind of introduced me to the whole 48 world. And I was like, this is amazing. From there, we went on and I think we won second place. And so it was really awesome. It got me hooked for sure.
And that was in 2000, right?
2020.
2020. My bad.
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's super helpful. I think we're going to come back to that because I want to get into that story and just hear about the ups and downs of that, because those are always fun. Rafaz?
My name's Rafaz. My 9 to 5, I used to do mobile apps, and now mobile apps aren't a thing anymore, I guess. No one really uses them. So I don't know, for the past like 4 or 5 years now, I've been switching over to cloud engineering, really boring stuff. It's just like text on the screen, nothing exciting. My first 48 was your second 48, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
I too have a story. It's a great story. I can summarize it. Basically, Mustafa asked me to come in and do some BTS because I was a well-known photographer back then.
For sure.
So I came in, I took a few pictures, I took a couple of clips, and we get the prompt, and I was like, all right, guys, this is what we're going to shoot. And I came up with like the craziest, most ambitious idea. I left it on them, and I bounced.
He had to bounce.
You guys didn't see me the whole weekend.
He got booked. You had things that came up, right? Like it just happens with life, like with these things. Like, oh, I'm gonna book this weekend. I'm doing a 48, and then all of a sudden, life is happening, and you're like, sorry guys, I have to go.
To be fair, I didn't fully understand what went into the 48. I think if I did, I probably would have been like, sorry guys, I got to do this. I got to focus on this.
I want to hear the whole story about the freaking golden
racket.
The golden racket.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a tender thing, man. I've also got a 48 that didn't finish in time, and I know that can be very
I don't want to do
painful,
all it. Okay, but
so I'll give you my perspective.
Yes,
and this is probably a little bit distance from the facts, but from what I understood, there was disagreements about creative choices. Is that accurate to say?
Yes.
Okay. And
from the get-go, during the planning.
Yeah, so I saw some of that. So I was there when we kind of came up with the outline of the script.
When we were out brainstorming,
Yeah. And I guess like it just continued throughout the weekend. And I think the problem with the 48 is like you can't have that. Like there's
no time to waste on that.
Yeah, it's no time to waste. Like you can't try something, and if it doesn't work, try something else. Like once you pick something, you got to commit to it and just go for it.
Right.
And if you don't, that's when you end up.
And then it was kind of, I mean, I don't want to say it this way, but I think it does add some flair. But like there was some kind of mutiny in a way. Like, oh, we're the, main character, main cast. So you guys can't do it whatever, you want. We're going to do what we want, kind of thing. And so while we're filming, they're kind of changing the story as it was moving along. And I was getting frustrated because like it was a big learning curve for me from my perspective. There was definitely disagreements, right, in terms of like staying with the idea. And then during these 48s, you definitely learn who you jive with and who you don't.
Yeah.
The collaboration component really comes through, and you know if you can or cannot work with somebody. And it comes down to like your personality types and how you operate.
So I think there's two things. I think there's the personalities, and also I think it's the fact that it's a 48. Some people
Yeah,
just
yeah.
can't do it. The
Right.
pressure just gets into their head. They
And
start freaking out,
right.
and things start falling apart bit by bit.
Definitely there was a lack of commitment, right? We were running very behind on schedule and knowing what type of shots that we needed, and things were dragging. And then we were still shooting on Sunday, right? Well, the day it due,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we
I've
didn't
done
film
that.
until like the middle of the day. And then by the time we wrapped, it was like maybe 4:30, and I had 3 hours to come home, offload, and do as much as I could. I was starting to conclude that I should just make maybe a teaser, a sneak peek rather than a short film, just a sneak peek of the film because it was going to run longer than 7 minutes max. But then things just happened, and unfortunately, my wife's grandfather had passed away
That
that
day.
day,
Jeez. That. Oh my
and so
gosh.
I was like, guys, we tried.
Sorry.
It's not happening. And
Yeah.
I mean, that was happening regardless. But prior to that, in terms of what we could control in terms of our production and stuff, we were not efficient because we were always through our actions disagreeing, and people were dragging and taking their time and not responding in a quick manner. And so because of that, it cost us a
Yeah, I mean,
lot.
I think even if the situation with your wife didn't happen, I don't think you guys would have kind of done it.
Correct. I don't think it would have been submitted.
Yeah.
It would
Yeah,
have
the
been
wheels were
garbage.
already off the bus. It sounds like.
Yeah.
It would have been garbage. But I mean, I was still committed to finishing it, so I did finish it. Obviously, way past the deadline, and I had messaged the organizers and said, "Hey, this is the issue," and they're like, "Our condolences. We're sorry." And that was it. No refund, no nothing. But it
I
is.
mean,
It's what it is.
that's just what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And so definitely, yeah, it was. I mean, I still like that story that we did. I liked how it came out.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, honestly. I mean, it was a great D&D project.
So you guys had this really rocky experience with your first 48 together, and you quickly learned about how many cooks in the kitchen become a problem, it sounds like.
For sure.
Is that fair?
I don't even know if it's too many cooks. I think it's about the right cooks. Like you need the chef, you need the sous chef, anywhere, all the way down to the dishwasher. People are important regardless of what they do.
Right. The
But it's
team,
just
building the team out and
yeah,
identifying the right people and their strengths and making them stay in their lane and not overstepping.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's huge. That's huge, isn't it? So then the next one would have been hit and miss, right?
Correct.
The next year. And so this is kind of where I started to see you guys, right? Because our story, the three of us, is that I had seen several of your short films. This was the first one. And I'm like, hey, these guys are churning out consistent stuff. This isn't an accident. There's something going on. Like what was happening in that one where you really felt like, things were kind of firing on all cylinders there?
I will say I have to give props to Rafaz because you were very adamant about the competition side because you're very competitive.
Sure.
And you were like, we have to win because we got close. Like we need redemption from the last one. For me, I think I skipped 1 year. So I did 2020 with Switch. I skipped a year of doing 48. Then the next year it was 22. We did Golden Racket. That fell through.
Yep.
But then 23, fall of 23, we're like, no, we're going to do this. And that's when I asked my colleague, John Rusty,
Yeah, I was gonna say
to come join.
That movie. I probably take the least credit for, and I think it's probably our more successful films, right?
I think, yes.
Yeah,
In
because
terms of recognition, yeah.
yeah, because I had a story that didn't really work out. Because I think
remember-
our options were either dark comedy or I think it was like
It was dark comedy or mystery.
something like that. Yeah,
Yeah, detective something.
yeah. And I was like, dude, I do not want to do dark humor. That's
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard enough to be funny, but to be edgy and funny stuff.
Yeah.
But you guys were like, "Oh, this is what we're gonna do."
And that's because I mean, it was Rusty's idea from the get-go.
Yeah.
And there's some background there that he and I are colleagues. And so naturally when I joined the company, it was joining the company after he did. He joined in September, I joined in like late October of 21. And we didn't really get I mean, we were both in marketing, and so we were kind of seeing each other. It wasn't that big of a group per se. And then we were starting to just naturally bond and,
You kind of
you know,
vibing, yeah.
feel for each other, like, hey, who are you? What you like and stuff. And then we just had this natural love-hate relationship repertoire. And then like it just clicked. Like there's something magical there in some way. And so I don't know what inclined me to like, hey, you are funny in your own way, and it is dark humor. But this is before we even got that genre. But I was like, I think we just need to make a movie.
Yeah.
Right. And then this opportunity came up like, hey, here's another 48 in September of 23. And I was like, hey, John, do you want to join? He was like, hell yeah. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay. And so he came, we all met up at your house, right? And we just, did a brainstorm sesh after the kickoff, and we're like, what can we do from these genres? And on the fly, he kind of made the premise: two guys hit men, and it goes wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I think that movie, we probably are understating how much of a credit he deserved for that
Oh,
one.
100%.
Because not only was it his story, it was like his acting, the repertoire that you guys were having.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Definitely when I look back, like sometimes in my spare time, I'll watch it again, and I'm like, there is some kind of innocent charm there,
yeah.
right? And it was something magical, I want to say, and it was really
It's
nice.
because talk about the way you filmed that, right? Because that's not scripted. You guys kind of have a vibe, a back and forth that you can sort of
Yeah.
tap into. So, like on that one, how did you
Well,
film that? It was not hard scripted, right? How did that all come
I think
together?
it's semi-scripted, right? Like
We had an outline,
yeah, and I think that's what we've continued to do since then. But it
right?
started with an outline. It's like, here are the beats. We're gonna do beat one, beat two, beat three.
We need to get to this point,
Yeah.
and so because of our natural chemistry that we had off camera, we were just bantering in
Yeah, you guys were
between.
able to fill out the spaces between the beats.
And we're like, we need to get to this point. So then we just on the fly kind of got there. And there was a lot that in the edit was taken out, but it still made sense with how the conversation between the characters would have, flowed, right? And it worked. And the way we filmed it from a technical point, the nature of my work is a lot of live production. And so that's kind of how I kind of approach it. Like, have multiple cameras because it is not scripted. I want to just capture most at once. So we had 3 camera setups, 2 versions. One was, cross shooting and then super wide, and then cross shooting and then low angle looking up, kind of a Tarantino from the trunk
So you had
kind
like
of thing.
5 angles on those shots?
Not at once. It
Okay,
was
so you were switching them up?
two different three angle shoots, setups rather.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
like 3 angles, like twice.
Yeah, 3 angles twice, right?
Yeah.
Um,
3
I
angles
think
twice,
the
and then
one
did
thing-
you kind of work through the same beats for each time, and then
yes, kind of.
but
yeah.
there was probably no real
We
like
did it
synergy.
by like kind of sections, I think. Yeah, if I
Yeah.
recall, we did them by sections, so that way we can kind of still keep the same flow from point to point.
Part of the reason why we shot in the backyard is because I was having foundation issues in my house. And
Right.
the guys who came to fix the foundation, they took all that mud, like a crap ton of mud,
Yeah.
and just like dumped it in my backyard. So we're like, hey, a dead body can fit in here.
Right. And it worked to the
And
story.
it worked out.
And we're like, okay, we don't need to go far. It's just there's
Yeah.
there's the location. And
Yeah.
so we brought a little bit of lights just to give it a little bounce, and we had Shahir, who is an amazing DP and director.
Mhm.
And so I had him on as DP too, which kind of helped from my perspective. Like, again, one of the lessons I learned from doing Golden Racket was just like being too in control of every single aspect of it.
Yeah.
And definitely that just burnt me out trying to do that project.
Yeah.
Having the delegation and letting people just do what let them have creative freedom in that space and let them take it and run with it gave me such a relief. So I can focus like, okay, I'm the director, but I'm also acting in it. So let me just focus on those roles and let everybody else do their own things. Shahir killed it with the cinematography and placement of the cameras and we're gonna shoot it this way, and I was like, all right, cool, let's do it like that, just so we can have more, coverage, because the nature of how we were gonna film it with heavy dialogue, so we don't
Hmm.
want to miss anything. So I was like, let's just do it like that, and
Yeah.
he did an amazing edit as well, because he also edited it, which also
So he
again took
also
off the
edited
burden
it as
from me.
well.
Oh yeah, he did, and it was awesome. I
Yeah.
think it was very much. I mean, we can tell from the reception of it, right? It was well received in the audience, like getting audience award for Group A, being in the top 10 films.
That's good.
Rusty
Your
getting
performance. Yep.
being best comedic performance. So, and I forgot what other did we get other noms?
The two big ones were best the audience vote and the best comedic performance.
Right, right. And so I think that was a testament to like just starting to get a sneak peek into what does it look like to collaborate with the right people in the right group, and then
Hmm.
seeing the fruition of that, for sure.
So that kind of was really sort of a turning point for you, because you'd had a few sort of rocky experiences and you felt like, hey, there's something really cool going on here. I want a little more. And then with Hit and Miss, you got some of that sweet, sweet recognition that all creative people are kind of always looking for.
Yeah, and I think more than that, we kind of found our groove. Like I think that was the first one where we sort of realized
Yeah,
how do
this
we
is
actually shoot this, and that's basically become a formula for us, right?
yeah.
Um,
Brainstorm Friday, edit or shoot on Saturday, start editing as much as we can on Saturday, and then Sunday hardcore edit, and that worked.
yeah, I mean we haven't
But it
always
was more than that, though, wasn't it? Because, like, you talked about the chemistry that you had with Golden Racket and how it was just sort of, a bunch of people kind of moving in different directions. And this is the thing that's interesting to me, is that you then brought in Rusty, who's like a total wild card, right?
Yeah,
But you also managed to sort of find a way to have everybody find their own lane and put something together that really, really came together pretty nicely, I think. I mean, that itself is a feat. Like, what was the chemistry there? How did you manage that, do you think?
honestly, I think it's just we just had the right people doing the right jobs at the right time. And that was it. Because
yeah,
everyone pretty much like brought for that movie specifically, everyone just bought their A game.
yeah,
Everyone just executed on what they wanted to do. We had a little bit of disagreements, but this is a creative thing, right? There's going to be disagreements, but ultimately, people kind of respected everyone else's sort of niche area of expertise,
yeah.
and we were just like, hey, we just want to build a great film.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's that level of maturity to understand, like, okay, I can just because I can have an opinion on something doesn't mean I should express it.
Yeah, and
Right.
I think like to be fair, I think our team were pretty open about being receptive to other people's opinions,
Oh,
even if like it doesn't
100%.
matter who they are. Like
Yeah.
you could be an actor, you could be a DP, you could be a sound
If
guy.
it fit in the vision, then yeah, by all means. Like for me, like as a director, I always welcome suggestions, and then, as long as it plays into the final, outlook of it, then yeah, I'm all for it.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, we're not like, oh, you're just a lowly,
Yeah, 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 yeah. We don't
henchman
do
number
that.
two. You don't have a say in our movie.
No, no. I mean, that's the thing, like, and I think our network definitely expanded after that film to reach into, like, other different types of talent,
Yeah,
and I think that was what's making, like, more beautiful art in our films, ultimate.
And that kind of gets back to the whole, it's like the human experience, right? Of sort of coming into contact with somebody and being humble enough to realize, like, wow, this person's bringing something to the table that I never could ever bring.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's honestly one of the things I love about the 48 as much as well is just this, it's this weird collaborative gumbo of people, like just kind of bringing something that you never could have imagined they would have brought. And somehow it all gets woven into some kind of final product that no one person could have ever conceived of or executed on their own.
For sure. I mean, people have done 48s by themselves, and they did phenomenal jobs.
I
There
want to
was
do
that
one next year on my own, by the way. That's like a goal I have, but
and
you
they
maniac.
yeah, you
I know,
crazy,
right?
dude.
You're doing one too, Rafaz, damn it.
There was one who, I think it was, in our competition for hit, or miss, the guy who did it by himself, and he did, like, clone shots where he was,
Oh
twice
yeah,
in
Yep.
one frame. I mean, kudos to him.
Yeah, man,
that looked actually that was well done, given that he did it by himself. Now,
sure.
if he had the assistance, it would have elevated, the production value and, of course, the storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, just because you can doesn't mean you should.
But see, that's another thing about the 48 that makes it fun. It's the constraints.
Oh yeah, that's where
Sometimes
creativity is born.
Yeah, sometimes we don't have the right people. Sometimes we don't have actors. Like me personally, you guys know me. I don't like being in front of the camera. I'd much rather be behind it.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm uncomfortable right now. But yeah, I mean, like, forcing yourself to go beyond like what you're comfortable with, and dude, like you find like it's almost like the first time I did jujitsu. Honestly, like you find a piece of yourself. You're like, holy crap, that was there this whole time.
Self-discovery.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, that's been something also in my experience with doing 48s is, what you said was like the constraints is where creativity, problem solving comes out, right? And then you execute that in the artistic sense, right? With filmmaking. But I mean, that skill applies to every other industry as well, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's creative. It's just a matter of what's the medium.
Yeah. Finding an outlet to express their creativity.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for listening. Be sure to subscribe and join us next week on Creators. If you'd like to be a guest to talk about your 48-hour film project, visit us at www.thelogosmedia.com/48ers.